Alright, I'm back, guys. This is the D here, ready for another war recap. We were up against API Assassins. I think they're an Italian clan. Let's go ahead and get in there. Where are we going to start? I think we were looking at Old Man hitting number 8. Had a solid attack here. That's just a celebration. I have a couple of cleanups here in a second too, but I like this one. So he is going to start out with a lure. Just send one hog in. Get the CC out. He's going to drag them up to the top. I'm going to show you. He's got that one barb there. And it's going to go down. He's just going to, I think he just drops his queen. One thing I'll tell you guys, right here, he drops his queen. I would have went with like maybe one less wizard and just had a couple of barbs. Because if he drops a barb or two down there and then drops the queen never even gets targeted. And he may not even, and if he drops like a whiz behind it, he never even has to pop his ability right there, which could come in handy later. But as it is, the queen takes some damage because that's all. Luckily, she shoots out those archers, so gives you a little bit of cover fire. But just a couple of barbs could have made a big difference there. Kept her at full life with no ability, but whatever. What I did like about this attack was that he did not bring a golem. See, the queen's going to jump into this compartment here because she's right there on the edge. So once they get in range, it's going to pull her out. So he just puts down a couple of giants to lay down some cover fire for the king. He creates himself a nice little funnel there. They're going to go in, take out that cannon, and just in a second, the queen is going to lock on, and there's the king. He's going. Goes ahead and I'd already popped my ability. But get that done quick. He can stay up just a little longer under the rage. But anyway, he's got it done. He sends a test hog in and then just sends a big column. One thing that was really good about going in there also is that he created a funnel for his hogs. You see, they're not going to split up very much. They're going to go around in a circle as a big group, so he's going to get more value out of his heals as well. So he broke that ring of defenses so that they go the same direction. Sets off the bombs. Not very good bomb placement, but whatever. Plus, by doing that, he didn't, he knew he wasn't going to get very much for his kill squad. So he didn't bring golems. He didn't bring a jump. Gave himself an extra heal. That's not always the way to do it, but when you can, that's the way. That's great because then you've got the extra heal and it makes all the difference in the world. And you look at how many hogs he also was able to bring and how many he has left. He's just going to burn through the space. He's already got wizards down, cleaning up all that trash around the outside. That king's going to go down in just a bit, I think, and we're going to speed up because it's all over. I had one of his bombs on the outside. Very, very smart, very strategic of whatever this guy's name is. Anyway, good job, old man. Way to identify the need for that light kill squad. Really like that. So let's see here. We are going to watch Trent take on number 4 and had a little bit of a fail. Just his little things, guys. It just went wrong. So he sends in 4 hogs there. I want you to remember that. You can see I do something slightly different when I clean this base up. Not a big deal, but again, it's the little things that matter in these Town Hall 9 attacks. So he gets his lure, which is all fine. Gets a defense. Because he did have to take that defense out to get the lure, so he had to bring the extra troops. He couldn't just do it with 1. Drops down a witch or 2. Is it 1 witch? Did he drop 1 witch? I think he only had 1 witch. Dropped his queen and a wizard. They're going to take out the CC troops, and that's it for that. Then he drops his golems in, and this isn't a bad angle. You're going to see what happens though. He's cleared out most of these buildings. He's getting some more trash done. He dropped his king too high. What he should have done was had 1 or 2 of those wizards from the top there, down here, taken out this building, and then dropped his king on this gold mine. Then they would have went in, but it was just too high. Went to the nearest building. The queen's way far back, so you are going to have to lead the king in there. Otherwise, he's just going to go after the nearest building. And because of that, the queen does not get locked onto, and things go poorly. Now, I will say, Trent had a chance because he had these 2 beefy golems down here taking that queen on, they might never even have latched onto the hogs until they were done clearing all the buildings. But he also was a little late on a heal up at the top here. You know, Trent was hitting this for the first time, so he didn't know where the giant bombs were, and they could have been anywhere in this base. So he's going to set one off here in just a second. There it is, and just not. He knew it. He was trying to get it down, but he lost so many hogs right there that he's just not going to have enough gas. I mean, you look, both those golems are still there. There's still, one's a golemite, about to be another golemite. He might have made it if he still had all those hogs, especially since he had 4 heals, or 3 heals, I mean to say. But not quite enough after you lose that many hogs and the queen's still up. It's all over. So his queen's going down in the core, and you know those hogs are done. That queen's just tearing them apart, and that's it. So let's see. I'm gonna show you how I changed it up just a wee bit. And I didn't bring my king on. I didn't have my king on this one. You know, that's the theme of my raids. So one thing there, I knew there were 2 DPSs here. I knew I just needed 2 hogs and a giant. So that's 5 troop space. I get 1 more hog than Trent did. Doesn't sound like a lot, but guys, anytime you can do that and save yourself the troop space, do it. It's worth it. An extra hog can make a big difference. Anyway, so I do the same lore he did. Drop out a barb. You notice I've got a couple of barbs here. I'm going to drop down the poison, and then I'm going to drop down a wizard. And while that barb's still out there, then I'm going to drop a couple more barbs. I think I was trying to get away with not using my queen here, but barbs went down too quickly, didn't have quite enough of them, so I had to go ahead and use the queen. Anyway, that's done. Queen's doing her job now, so I took a slightly different angle. My golem started to wrap there, but it really doesn't matter. I broke in right there, and I've already created a big funnel for these witches to send their skeletons in. And then there's the jump. And that, you know, one thing about that is that compartment's just a little bit closer. It's just going to be just a little bit easier to get into the queen. I also, you know, guessed that there was a bomb there since the placement of the other bombs. So that was another reason I wanted to go in there. I wanted to make sure I took out that giant bomb if I could with my kill squad. Anytime you can do that, that's a big deal. Queen's down. I've sent my hogs in. A little 2-finger drop there, just going in the same area. Again, I kind of broke the ring there, so that's big. I've also, you know, my golems are in there tanking. The king isn't messing with me, so a lot of those defenses aren't messing with me, and they're actually down. The wizard's taking out the king right now. Witches are actually working on some of those buildings, but you know, my hogs are all in the same spot. Got a little lucky there. A couple broke off, took out that bomb for me. But that's it. I still got a heal left. I'm going to drop it right here on these last few defenses. And that is it. My queen's still up. Witches still up. I got a wizard in there. And I got wizards all over the outside of the base. On the side where the hogs are not going to be. So they can clean up. And the hogs can just start doing work on the top side. And then we'll speed it up. And there it is. I mean, honestly, I think Trent would have had that if he had just dropped his king a little lower and created a funnel on the bottom side. I think that was the only, you know, mistake, other than just missing that giant bomb, which can happen to anybody. That was it. So nice try, Trent. I think you got a 3-star in here anyway. So let me see here. We got. I'm going to show Old Man hitting number 6. We showed you a good one from your old man. We're going to show a bad one. So let's see what we got here. So queen's on the outside. Guys, anytime you got that, just go ahead and swap your king. You see old man ends up doing it at the end, but I think he just got in a little bit of a rush or whatnot and just forgot about it till the end. Honestly, it didn't matter at that point. So sends him in. He even gets you know, some of the skeleton traps, which is awesome. He's going to come over here. The barb's going to come in. And there's something that, again, old man's just going to drop his poison, and then he's going to drop his queen. And you had one barb. Drop the barb first so they don't immediately latch onto the queen. You can take those out. And honestly, like one less wizard, you could send 2 barbs in, drop your queen, send 2 more barbs in, drop a wizard or 2, and that stuff's dead. And you didn't have to use your ability. And you know, that ability can come in handy later on, guys, especially if you're paying attention. But anyway, he does a 2-finger drop here. And what ends up happening, I think, at some point he just kind of loses. He hits a bomb, as this heal spell, right as this heal spell dissipates, and he loses track of the right side hogs, and that's what ends up costing him. Yeah, here it is. It's going to go off. Heal dissipates. He thinks he's still got a heal, and they're already dead, and he just kind of, left them. If you're going to do the two-finger drop, that's fine. There are situations where that's the right thing to do, but you gotta keep your eyes open, because you can't afford to have them all go down. And you look over here where the queen's going down. If the queen still had her ability, that king's dead. I know it doesn't matter to the right now. That's just my point. If you can avoid using it, I'd rather give up 4 troop space than the queen's ability. 8 troop space than the queen's ability, if I can avoid it. He still had some CC hogs in there. He's going to send them in, but it's just not enough. He doesn't really have any heals left. They're done. There you go. Like I said, missed a bomb. That's the downside. There's good things to the two-finger drop, and there's bad things to it when you do that. If they split off, you got to keep your eye on both of them at the same time. So we're going to watch how Epic cleans it up. He's going to come in, drop the same 2 hogs, kill that air sweeper. He even came with more wizards. Guys, you don't generally need that many wizards. Wizards are good cleanup troops, but you really just need a few for the back end. You don't need a ton of them. I'd rather have... Hogs are the best cleanup troop. They are. A few wizards help because they can beat up those trash buildings while the hogs do their job. But 16, probably a few too many. Anyway, he's going to do about basically the same thing. I think he lets his point. Yeah, he drops a couple of witches, and that right there, you had that barb there. If you drop the barb first and then drop the witches, or better yet, just had the witches out before the CC got there, they don't get hit. They start targeting the skeletons, and you got to think about that. He lost a witch at 12 troop space, and when you think about how many skeletons it generates, it's like 60 troop space that you just lost there. But anyway, he drops his king down. He brings a golem for this one, and I don't know that he needed a golem for this one. I don't know how much value he got out of that. He does have, a few defenses targeting that golem, so they are tanking for him. So I guess that's good. He's going to drop a heal. There's a bunch of defenses right there. So that's a good heal. And he knows there's a bomb right there. So they all get healed back up. I will say that golem still, taking for like 2 DPS and a whiz tower, which, so not a full waste. Just normal stuff. They're gonna run around and take that out. He's got a big wad of hogs left and 2 heals. He's gonna drop them right here, I believe. Yep. Keep all that up. This golem is moving around. But, like down here, it's really not doing anything. It's taking damage, but those things wouldn't be hitting the hogs anyway. So, yeah, maybe not on that golem. Maybe not. I don't know. It worked out. He got a 3-star. But you notice his queen's still up. Queen still got her ability. At this point, since the queen's not going to need it, I probably would have already popped it just to get the archers out there doing more work. At the end of the day, the stuff comes down to time, and a few archers beating up on a building can make a tiny, tiny difference. But like I said, we're just nitpicking there. It ain't going to make a huge bit of difference. He's got 1 hog left. Is he going to get that? Oh, no, he doesn't get that last archer tower, but he's got like 15 wizards here. Which you might be thinking, oh, well, see, he brought all those wizards. Yeah, but if he'd had like, 7 or 8 less wizards, he'd have had more hogs. So he'd have got even faster. So either way worked. And honestly, the wizards might not be the best way to do that. Things could have gone. A couple of high HP storages still there, and you lose it there. Hogs are a little better at taking out defenses, but again, we're not going to nitpick too much on a 3-star. Good job, Epic. Yeah, I am. I did. I just didn't. But whatever. Let's move down. We're going to watch nail number 10. This was just a really good sound Town Hall 8 attack, and there was one little thing I wanted to show. So he drops down his hog. I think this was the first attack, so that was a really good place to go in. Not that that's a good spot for a bomb right there, but it's a place that a lot of people would drop one. So I like that entry. And you notice he gets his witches down way away from the dragon,
before they get there, so they have time to develop. Drops about 3 wizards, which are going to go ahead and take out this dragon. They're never even going to get targeted by the dragon. They do end up getting hit by some of the defenses there, but no big deal. Sends his hogs in there to protect that kill squad. They're going to start doing some trash cleanup as they get around here. I think that one wizard's going to get popped, but that's okay. He had a few hogs go up top, so he kept the heal on them as well. Oh no, it was quite a few hogs up there. He's used all his heals, so this was what I loved. Before his hogs were about to tear up to that side of the base, and that cannon, that archer tower, all that stuff was about to start hitting them. So what's he do? He drops his king up there to do some tanking, and that was that's tanking, because he has no heals left. He's got to keep these hogs up, and if those DPS were hitting him while they're hitting high HP defenses, he'd had a lot of trouble, especially considering he just hit a bomb. Granted, he had about 1 billion hogs left because he'd done a good job on the other part, but I think that did play into it and made it a much more decided victory. And that's guys, there's a lot of ways to use your king on a Town Hall 8 attack. If you can't do a king swap, if you don't need it to get well, I don't know, there's really nothing else to do with it. King swap is the main thing. If you can't do that, use it to tank for your hogs. That's a great use for the king, because he's still beating up on trash. At the right time, heck, he's not even going to go down, as he did for Ryan right there. So, anyway, guys, another great attack, another great war. We had another one. I'm a little backed up. I got another one after this, and then we're in a new one. But I'll keep the war recaps coming if you guys just keep going for 3 stars.